thank you all so much for coming. I also want to thank the Loft and Vanessa. I have really enjoyed working with my fellow mentees. It's been so rewarding. And most of all, I have to thank the mentors for sharing so much wisdom these past few months. One thing this mentorship really makes you do is get out there with your writing and talk about it, tell people what the thinking is behind it, not be afraid to expose yourself, which can be excruciating. I'm a writer because I don't like to do that. Still, these are not the days of Emily Dickinson, when you can hole up in your room and write fabulous poems and then die and be immortally famous. But still, for me, it's really a new experience to be out there and talking about myself and my work. And just Wednesday night, I was at choir, and my friend Diane mentioned to the entire 30-member group of choir mates that my reading was tonight. And immediately I felt myself just shrinking down into my chair. And then the choir director, Nancy, said, "Well, Maureen, that's so wonderful. What's your book about?" Oh my God, I had nothing prepared, so I said something very uninteresting. And then an alto in front of me, Ruth Bachman, said, "Well, where can I buy your book?" That was the worst, because then with 30 people listening, I said, "Well, it's not published yet." But that's okay. Someday. So I've decided the solution for me is something I used to do when I was in advertising, and I used to do presentations out at General Mills and have to portray cartoon characters, etc. I am going to pretend, when I promote my book and whatever happens in the future, I'm going to pretend that I am Cher. That has always worked for me in the past. I've been to several of Cher's concerts, and she knows no bounds, and she doesn't care what people think. So I want to be Cher tonight. My novel, River of Tears, is set in the wilds of Africa. It is the story of 34-year-old Comfort Sibongo, who is a young mother fighting to save her family from poverty, rebel violence, and extinction, really. In the excerpt I'm about to read, Comfort is on her way. She's walking a couple kilometers to a cassava field to bring her friend Lenice Bukasa a gift. Lenice is moving away, and Comfort happens to be eight months pregnant in this chapter as the book opens. Bicyclists pass, and I keep my head down. The blue plastic bag with my cell phone, knife, and Lenice's gift bracelet whaps at my side. A bicycle's horn startles me, but it is just 3 young boys swerving and jumping the ruts. They want an audience, and I nod and smile. I have never been accosted on this road. Threatened, yes, but never caught or attacked, which means my luck will run out someday. I breathe deep and believe otherwise. Now that he is convinced his first son is in my belly, to be born within the month, and all has gone well so far, Prosper tries to keep me home. Today is a rare exception, won by pleading. A kingfisher scolds me with a series of sharp whistles. In a burst of iridescent blue, he leaves a tangled tree and flies low over the savanna towards the jungle. Prosper has told me the blue-breasted kingfisher does not fish, but nests in holes of termite mounds in high trees, eating whip scorpions, mantises, spiders, and frogs. I take the bird's appearance as an omen. All will be well today. Just the freedom of walking to the field buoys me, though I will walk part of the way along a hidden path in the brush, where the road curves and narrows, a stretch where I was once chased by a marauder, stopped on his bike, innocently asking me the time of day. I told him, and he came after me. My screams and swiftness allowed me to escape to a busy expanse ahead. Today, I would not be so lucky. Soon the cassava field comes into view. The clink and scrape of shovels and knives, roots and tubers being pulled from the ground and thrown into the bags greets me. It is a feeling of security to hear this sound. I remember going with my school teacher mother to work in the fields to augment our income a few hours each week. Many more hours, my mother labored to teach me English, pestered me with it night and day, always ending with these words, "It will be your salvation." We will see. I can still speak English. I have not let it vanish, and I can harvest cassava like a field worker, though Prosper does not allow it, despite the occasional money it would earn. Pocket change, he laughs. You have a family and your place is in the home. I provide for us. This is not true. We have no extra saved. I sweat from exertion and drink the entire contents of my water bottle. I can fill it from the worker's pail. The field of cassava stretches to the jungle's edge. I scan the workers and spot Lenice in her wrap of orange and yellow, sitting with friends under a blue gum tree. It is still the noon break. As I approach, I notice her two-tone hair with its shades of henna braided close to her head like a cap, a style I like. A bell clangs and everyone rises. Lenice, who has not seen me, resumes her work. I find an open spot and kneel close by and begin gently pulling at the base of a plant stem with both hands. All this time I am clearing my throat and humming until Lenice looks over in annoyance. "Weh, comfort!" and she throws her arms around me. I'd given up hope. I was worried. I had to clean up before I left or I would hear about it from Prosper. We embrace again. How is he? How will I say goodbye to him and your girls? We will visit. You will. She pats my hard midsection. How do you feel? You are close, and I wanted to be godmother. You can still. Prosper's sister will stand in for you. Virunga, are you excited? She nods. I'll miss you. I keep reminding Mosi to see what he can do for Prosper. Your husband has a good background, though with the war back on, and the M23. Let us not talk of that. I glance around, hoping the overseer is not watching. Then take the wrapped gift from my bag and give it to her. Her delight warms me. She just has time to open it and drape the bracelet over her dusty wrist before a tiny man crashes down on us like a storm. You've had your rest. Work! Work! He is the capita, almost doll size, and I cannot help the smile that flickers across my face as he flails and shouts. He notices me. Who are you? He speaks in low-bred Swahili. Not one of the crew. You are trespassing. With a grimace that reveals few teeth, he pulls a baton from behind his back and charges me, raining blows on my back. I hurry away, but trip over a stalk and fall. Lenice and two others pull him off me. I struggle to my feet, grab a cassava, and hurl it at his head, making matters worse. I am the intruder, but he is cruel. The blow draws blood, and this he sees on his filthy hand and lunges at me. This time I push him hard, sending him backwards into the dirt. He falls, but scrambles up amidst laughter in the field. He comes at me again, but the women surround me, all of us towering over him. Lenice brandishes a shovel, but does not use it. She is leaving. Look, she did work free of charge. She points at her pile of cassava. I bend over as best I can, grab my plastic bag, and then squeeze Lenice's hand before I depart. Lenice squeezes back and hugs me. Are you all right? Yes, but I wonder. The fall hurt and the blows sting. The capita spits on the ground. He has no words in his head, just violence. I am walking away with my bag, but my back aches from his blows. I thank Lenice's friends who guarded me, and they go back to their work. I remember with relish his fall into the dirt and the laughter. A few men now languish and watch me with interest, their shovels supporting them. I am fond of lashing back. My anger rises quickly. I glance back. The overseer shoots me a look of evil, then walks off on his child's legs. He is some sort of dwarf, the size of a 10-year-old boy, but able to do the work, evidently. He bullies the women, maybe, but dares not the men. Now, besides my sadness that Lenice is moving, I want to kill him for endangering my baby. The smell of cassavas, the sweat, the soil are making me ill. The sun has come out from behind a cloud and spreads a false brightness. The bully man has moved on. I want to beat him to death. I must quell my anger. Lenice shouts from the field, "I will miss you. We will visit. The girls want to see the baby gorillas." I call back, but no, it will not be possible. I can think of little on the way home but my unborn son and how even blows to my back might have harmed him. He should not be raised in this country. In Virunga, Lenice's family will live close to the border and can flee if necessary. Dizziness seizes me, but I continue towards the road. Once out of sight of the field, tears stream, and I am cold and thirsty. My water bottle, empty, remains unfilled at the workers' pails. I have 2 kilometers to go. Something with a hard shell bats at my head and I squish it. A dull pain down low makes me walk faster. Within half a kilometer, my contractions have begun. Stupid idiot that I am, so sure I had weeks before the birth. If only I could lie flat on my bed, calm myself, and make it stop. From the bag, I take my phone to call Prosper. The small screen is black. The phone is dead. I curse myself for this, over and over, and for walking to the field. Even riding my bike would have been preferable, but balance has grown too difficult. Overhead, the sky darkens and drops splat my face. God knows I do not need a downpour now. My feet ache with my burden, but I hurry one in front of the other, avoiding the ruts. Between contractions, I stride like an ostrich. The cowrie shell, a symbol of fertility on a cord round my neck, sticks to my flesh. I clutch it as a sharp contraction makes me double over. Now, with my 3rd child, I'm given no warning? This cannot be. I fall to the ground, stones cutting my knees. What scares me is not the pain, but that I might not make it home, at least 1.5 kilometers more. It was the beating. I swear the puny overseer will pay if anything goes wrong. Prosper will see to that. My head throbs, but it is nothing next to the contractions. The pain in my belly prods me faster. I am educated, civilized. Having a child on the edge of the road is unheard of. The contractions continue. The overseer's blows shook something loose. My 2 girls were each 2 weeks overdue. It is false labor, I tell myself, or maybe food poisoning. I go over the dishes eaten the past 2 days. Poulet nouambe, sauce aux crevettes, a melange of the usual fruits from the market, nothing to cause alarm. A warm sensation between my legs signals my water has broken, and I give up denying what is happening. The next contraction does not ebb for many seconds, and I fear I will need to push before I reach home. No one passes to help, nor could I trust them if they were male. I trudge on, my rank musk competing with the smell of the plantation's latrine pit carried on the breeze. Humidity clings like hot cloth to my face. Pied crows cackle and shriek. They chase a hawk, not me. I keep moving. Rain turns the road wet. I walk gingerly but fast in between contractions and try not to imagine the worst. If I lose this boy, Prosper will not forgive.